did I send you an invite? Yeah. So if you, hey. So Tall Boy, he and I, we met on another platform, and he is just so knowledgeable in the tech space. And so I asked him to come over and just kind of share with us about what he does, what he has to offer to entrepreneurs, to the business owners, and all of that. Talk about his what do you call it, podcast, and all of that. So at this point in time, I'm going to toss the mic to him to introduce himself and just to share whatever you want to share. Yeah, so it's all yours, Tall Boy.
Well, thank you once again for the invite. I'm not familiar with Clubhouse, so this is definitely a learning platform, but it seems like it's the same as or similar to the platform that I met you on. So we'll go with the flow. My name is Corey Sanders. I go by the name of Tallboy. I have a couple of websites that you can follow me on, that just basically depending on what your use case is or what you care about. Um, I specialize in video production and live streaming services. So if you're looking to get a commercial done, if you're looking to say, I want to start my own podcast, I'm looking to elevate to another level with my live streaming, or I just want to get started, we can have those discussions. And then my primary baby for 2024 is building this tech show up, because I believe that technology is something that a lot of us 40 plus struggle with. And because we struggle, it goes over our head. We don't know what's going on. We don't understand. And at the end of the day, my goal or my job or what I attempt to do is try to simplify the technology in a language that you can understand and not go over your head. And these are just basically some rollouts that companies are rolling out. There could be businesses that I may have met at the Consumer Electronics Show. For the ones that are not familiar with that, it's called CES, that they do at the top of the year in January, where they are launching proof of concept, concept ideas, products that are ready to launch, or major brands making announcements. So the goal is to identify products that have practical use cases that we could use today. That's what my coverage is about. And say, how can we make this product good for me, whether it's for the home, the family, yourself as a male or female, or for your kids. So that's kind of really what my goal is when I identify consumer technology products. So outside of that, that's pretty much it. You can follow me. See, the best place to go to is IAMTALLBOY.bio, and you can see everything there. Whether it's the tech show, which is called, you go to youtube.com/ the lab tech show. You can visit that website, which is labtechshow.com. So youtube.com/ the lab tech show. And if you want to see what we do, you can go over to that platform, Lab Tech Show. And then if you're interested into live streaming production, or you need live streaming production, that website, and I know I'm giving you a lot to unpack, is yourliveproduction.com, yourliveproduction.com. And then if you're looking for commercials, or if you are looking to have an event to be recapped, then you would go over to tallboy.us. So I can repeat that at a later time and date, but I'm pretty sure that Miss CM has some questions for me, and I'm pretty sure, I guess we'll do, if you're okay with doing it interview style, I'm open to that, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Listen, go ahead and drop your links in the chat so that they can have them there. I do know that I went over to your YouTube channel. Oh, that's
Hmm.
a lot. That's a lot over there. When I tell you, I felt like a little girl in a candy store. The candy store. I was just having a field day, and I wanted to start from the beginning, from on the lab show, the Wednesday thing. Can you speak more about what you do on Wednesdays? Because yeah, I like that. I really like that.
All right. So Wednesdays we host a live show on YouTube where we are simplifying technology in a language that you can understand. The goal is to find four articles or four stories or four things to talk about that are rolling out. So this past week we were talking about the features of Google Wallet. If you are an Android person, if you use Google, Android Wallet is a very big use case. Or it could be a good tool for you where you can store your tickets. Certain states allow you to store your driver's license. Now you can now store your credit cards, but Google Wallet just released an opportunity to where if you take flights or if you purchase movie tickets, and if you have it come to your Gmail account, then it will automatically be uploaded into your wallet once you set it up. So this is a great way to say, I know I have this boarding pass. I know I have this movie ticket. You can just open up your Google Wallet instead of you looking and searching for the ticket when you're actually at the location, at either at the airport or at the movie theater. But it's similar stories like that. Netflix pricing is going up. The Target is about to launch a new subscription service to compete with Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus. Those are some of the articles that we've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So the goal is to basically simplify technology in a language that you can understand, show you or share with you what's going out. I'm not trying to go over your head and talk crypto, talk about government issues. Now, if it has something to do with flights or, maybe where we can get a rebate or something like that, we will highlight that. And then we try to make it fun. We try to make it engaging. And like I said, we're not trying to go over your head. So we have a cartoon character called TBJ, which is this logo that you see here. So this is TBJ, and he has his own personality. He likes to interact in his own way. And then we also have a segment called the Word of the Day, where we try to expand your mind with a new word that we receive via Merriam-Webster's word of the day that comes out every day at 5:35. But on Wednesdays we launch that, and then we go into the show. It's interactive, so you can ask questions in real time. You get a response back in real time, and then we also do real time polling. It's a 1 hour show, about an hour and 15 minutes. And but based off of how the conversation goes, and the goal is for you to at least say, "I'm aware of this," and I read a marketing book and I can't think of the author's name, but he said if you see it or you hear it 4 times, then you'll probably pay attention to it. So my goal is to say, don't let this slip through the cracks. This is what's rolling out. Hopefully you guys get some value out of it. So yeah, that's the Lab Tech Show on YouTube.
Okay, cool, cool. That when I tell you, when I went over there, I was just so excited, especially after hearing the word of the day. So I just know I'm going to be living on your YouTube platform. I spend a lot of time in my car. When I'm not in my car, I am, just like I'm hanging out right now at my mom's house, or I'm at my house, or I'm at my office, and I like to have some kind of background going on and whatnot. So I am just in love with your YouTube channel. Yes, and I really believe that if you're in business, you've got to have a tech person or a resource, a place where you can go to get answers, okay, get solutions if you are not in that space. You know what I'm saying? So I know I have a person here in Montgomery, but he tells me all the time, Cheryl, the only thing, that's what the C stands for, is Cheryl. He's like, Cheryl, all I do is go on to YouTube. And so I try to go to YouTube first and then try to figure it out myself. But, sometimes it just doesn't work for me. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I was just so excited to come across you, and yeah, have you as a resource. I think you are a valuable resource. You are a place where people can go and get answers for not just business software or anything, but a variety of solutions that they might run across. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing. I see Queen T has made her way up to the stage. Go ahead, Queen T, and introduce yourself. And if you have a question for Tall Boy, go ahead and just ask your question. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
You most welcome. You know, if I can be here, I'm gonna be here. And this is a good time for me. Um, so my name is Trina Lewis. I go by T on the social platforms. How and what I do, I'm a licensed health and life insurance agent. And I'm in the also in the trucking industry. So I don't know how much time that you have. I forgot your real name, Mr. Tall Boy, but um, I know you gave like a broad overview of your solutions. Okay, so for example, if I came over there to your YouTube, what as a business person, what and I'm trying to take whatever solutions you can give me, what would be those solutions for myself? And I am over 40. um I cuz in my mind I'm thinking like, okay, I can utilize his help to get my YouTube presence up, because even though I do video editing myself, I kind of went been out of that field for a while. I'm focusing on my other businesses. What I have in mind is somebody that can get my YouTube presence up, and where all I have to do is film and tell them what I want, how I want them to edit it and everything. But that's what I have in my mind. But can you get in a little more details what you would provide with that
So
show?
that show is really more a generalized show as far as the tech show is concerned. So these are, once again, for the lab tech show, what we try to offer or what I offer over there is these are tech is forever evolving. Every day something is happening, something is going on in the tech space. Somebody has rolled out a new rollout. There's a new project that has come out that has launched, whatever it may be. The goal is to not have it go over your head and for you to understand it a little bit more clear. So on Wednesdays, what we do is we have you come to the show. We have 4 topics that are there, and I literally put the article in front of you. You can see it in the fine print. I read it, we discuss it, and then we have real time questions and real time polling. For what you're asking for is video production services. And so starting your YouTube channel, that would be a conversation to where you would go visit tallboy.us or your live production. So if you wanted to do live streaming, that would be your live production. Or if you wanted to say, I've already have my pre-recorded content, and Tallway, I would like for you to help me get this channel off the ground, and I'm giving you this pre-recorded content, and then can you turn this into the masterpiece that I'm looking for it to be? So that's a different service from what the Lab Tech Show offers. The Lab Tech Show is more geared towards people who just do not understand tech. They understand it; it goes over their head, but they understand it just enough, but it doesn't just quite grasp. The purpose of the Lab Tech Show was I was around a lot of seniors during the pandemic, and they were just struggling. They didn't know how to work their TV. They didn't know how to work their phone. They would go to the grocery store and had to put food back. And I'm like, hey, it's in the app. Hey, all you have to do is watch a YouTube video, or let me show you how to set your TV up and do this, or you can screen share from your phone. And my thing was being around those seniors, how many other people were struggling with that same problem? And these are just some examples or just some use cases that I'm talking about now, but there's a variety of things that people just did not know how to do. And my thing was, hey, you know what? Let me put this out here. And a friend of mine and we started the show during the pandemic. We have now both ventured off into doing, two different routes, but I stayed with the tech and the consumer technology side of it. And then I started because I was familiar with the consumer electronics show. We knew that there were companies that had products that could probably simplify your life. And we felt like, hey, this would be a great place to be able to showcase those companies and have them come on to the show and give them a platform to showcase their products as well.
Well, I am so glad that that Trina asked that question, because that's another thing that a lot of us, even though we might understand the space, like Trina was saying, she knows video editing and whatnot, but she really doesn't want to do it. I know I don't
Mhm.
want to do it and whatnot. So that's that is good to know that you provide those services. So thank you so much, Trina, for asking that question. Yeah. And Trina is Corey. It's easy for me to remember what his name is because he has the same name. And I want to say you spell it the same as my son. He spells the
Yeah, I
same.
just don't give out my government name. That's the only thing. So I normally
Okay.
have people checks payable to Tallboy Enterprises or and it's funny because the name was derived. If I am 7 feet tall, I don't like to tell people how tall I am, but if it's in natural conversation, it comes out. But the name Tallboy was derived from doing a mobile marketing tour for the summer. Doing, and I don't know if you guys are basketball fans or not, but there was a big street basketball tournament back in the day called the And One Mixtape Tour. And they would literally go from LA to New York and they were looking for the best basketball players. And my goal for that summer gig was to I was hired by Mountain Dew, the title sponsor, to just pour drinks. That was my only job, just to pour the drinks at the activations outside at the open runs. The fans would be at all the major cities that was on the tour, and while they were at the open run, my job was just to pour the drinks and say, come try out the Mountain Dew. Well, seeing that I'm 7 feet tall, there's nobody else as big as me. And they're like, hey, do you want to play? And my boss kind of said, we finish or we are able to wrap up our project, our stuff before the game starts, they would allow me to play in the game because they didn't have anyone my height to play against the other team. And the goal, well, the guy asked me my nickname, and at the time it was 7-0. Self-explanatory, 7-0 equals 7 feet. And the guy said, I can't call you 7-0 because it sounds like 7 Up and it's not a Pepsi product. So we're going to call you Tall Boy. And I'm like, you can't call a grown man tall boy because I live in the South. I'm from the South, and you can't call a man boy. And he said, man, you're full of energy, you're full of excitement, and people tend to just gravitate towards you. So we're going to call you Tall Boy because there's a 16-ounce can by AMP, which is a Mountain Dew product called Tall Boy, and we could see you doing commercials for this one day. Got out there, was playing, did my thing. The guys, of course, if you get dunked on, you have to leave the gym. The crowd rags on you. Well, they were all trying to dunk on me, and it did not happen. And finally, the MC just said, "You know what? You called yourself Tall Boy. You kind of earned your name as Tall Boy." So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go out and trademark the name, and the rest is history." If you Google "I am Tall Boy," you'll see my work. You'll see not just the basketball stuff, but you'll see I transitioned from basketball into radio, and then I started interviewing some of our favorite R&B, hip hop, and some of our famous influencers and gospel celebrities over the course of 2007 to about. Well, I still do it now, but I've interviewed some of the best of them that we all know and we truly appreciate. I literally just picked up a camera and said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. And that's how I've made a name for myself by just interviewing our heroes and sheroes of our time and said, this is how I'm going to make a name for myself. And now since the pandemic, I've transitioned into the tech space.
Thank you for that. I did go in the chat and got all your details and contacts. So, I did subscribe. So, yeah, I just want to be clear. I know, like you were saying, you was giving us the information, and I just wanted to divide it in my mind. Okay, you do this, you do that, you do this. Okay, got you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you need video production, I just put. Oh, I think I messed something up. I messed that last one up. I'm sorry. I was trying to type, but then you guys asked me a question, so I walked away from it. Um, there you go. Thanks for removing that. Whoever did that.
I did.
So this is the website. There you go. And then so that's the video production, and you can see some of the work that's there, of how I move around with that tallboy.us website.
And when I tell you from what I have experienced being, on stages with Tall Boy, he is, like he said, people just gravitate to him. He has a very good um, personality. He's very passionate and an expert in his field and whatnot. And just easy to understand, just patient and whatnot. And so I love that. I just love that. And that's what we need, especially people who are just need something for dummies. Okay. It's just we need somebody to talk to us like we just have no clue. Okay, because right now, what I'm trying to do with my stuff, I'm just trying to fill in and keep my name out there, you know, while I am, until I'm able to bring on someone to do this stuff. So I just kind of do what I can, over on the YouTube channel and all the other social media platforms. We just doing the best we can. So I really, really, really believe that you can be a resource for a lot of people, a lot of people. So thank you so much for coming in. I see a lot of my notary people, friends are coming in. I just sent you an invite. You can come up if you would like, or whenever you're wanting to. There you go. You can. Tallboy, did you have something you wanted to say? I seen you came off the mic.
No, I just wanted to say, don't get discouraged. I mean, you all have to start somewhere. And the first of it, we all want it to be perfect that first time, right? The one thing my radio mentor told me, it will never be perfect the first time. All you can do is put out your best product at that moment, and then you work towards perfection. So, the saying, if you know anything about basketball, there is a guy that plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. His name is Joel Embiid, and they said, trust the process. And then it was process, but people never understood the rest of it. It was trust the process, and then it was process to progression, and then progression to completion. So if you can remember those three phrases right there, just start. Just trust the process, whatever it may be. Just start somewhere, because the biggest thing is people, in the back of your head that you can do this, and you can provide value in whatever it is. I know we want it to be perfect. Do the best that you can, get it out there. And as you start doing it, people will start seeing it. And once they start seeing it, then now you're having that process to that progression. And then as you start making the progression, you're going to say, how do I make it better? And how do I make it cleaner? How do I do whatever it is that I'm doing? Whether it's notary, whether it's, video production. I look at some of my first videos that I did back in the day, and I would be so embarrassed to look at that content now. But at the time, that was the best that I knew how. Now, the way I cut and the way I edit, people are like, wow. And I still don't think I'm the best at whatever it is that I do. But to others, the fact that I've been so consistent for over the years of saying, I have this interview. And the one thing my grandmother used to always say to me was, all you have is your name and your word. So because she said that, my thing was, when I was interviewing these celebrities, they would say, well, where is this content going to go? And at the time, they would come into the radio station and it was like, I'm going to edit it and I'm going to put it on the station website. Well, the station didn't believe in what I was doing. and they didn't want it on the web. And I'm like, why? They're here at the station. And they didn't believe in it. So at the time, I found a platform called YouTube that was just in its infancy stages. I put the content there because I didn't have anything. Then years later, I created the first version of tallboy.us, which was nice. That was the best that I could use. And then in 2012, we redid the whole website. And that was the website all the way up until last year. And so now we've done a third iteration of tallboy.us. So it's literally trust the process, process to progression, and progression to completion. So that's hopefully you'll take that knowledge right there and you'll make it work for you.
That's great advice. That is great advice. Thank you so much because I do. And I tend to be a perfectionist as well. So I'm like, okay, if I can't get it to at least look presentable, I'm like, this is not going anywhere and whatnot. So let me just tell you what I tend to do, what I aim to do, and I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, but with these like with this room and whatnot, I like to repurpose it over on my YouTube channel. Now, my concern right now is I think I need to get the permission of the people, like everybody here on the stage. They're contributing to this episode and whatnot. So I'm thinking I need to at least let the people know that we are going to be repurposing it, and but that's what I normally like to do is take this and put it over on my YouTube channel. What would be your advice? Am I wrong about that? How should I go about it? When I have guests and whatnot, can you advise?
So the biggest thing is uh, this is a social platform app, right? So we already know that we're sharing whatever gems that we choose to share on here. So there's a possibility. This is the way I'm thinking. It's a possibility that it could be shared at any given time by anybody. Some people may feel some form of way about that, saying, no, I don't want my voice being used. I don't want my image being used. But you already gave that up when you came onto this site, right? So what I would recommend, I would put it in your disclaimer saying, if you come up on the stage, there's a possibility that some or portions of this would be repurposed for social media or for YouTube or whatever the case may be. But I would let them know, saying, "Hey, I will be using this and I will be repurposing this content because at the end of the day, that's the reason why you created this show. You didn't just have it solely dedicated for Clubhouse. You may have done that in the beginning, but now you're looking at other opportunities to brand the show. So I would not be surprised if it was not on Instagram, if it was not on LinkedIn, if it was not on Facebook. I would not be surprised because the goal is for you to attract more followers. So just like with my show, I like to repurpose the content. So even though it's on YouTube, you're seeing that content on that other platform that you know me on. You also see it on Instagram, you see it on TikTok, you see it on LinkedIn, and you see it on multiple Facebook pages. So I would just, let people know that, hey, I will be repurposing this content. So be mindful of what you say on this app if you do not want that to represent or reflect you.
Okay, thank you so much for that advice. I will definitely do that. In the meantime, what I try to do is edit it for like just your portion, what we talked about, in the beginning, where you just gave, um, what you do and all the places that we could find you and whatnot. So, and just kind of leave out other people's voices and whatnot. That's and because I decided to go that way, it takes me a while to put put the episode over on YouTube because that's not my thing. I'm trying to learn how to do it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks again.
No, I mean, once again, we all know the tools that we know. We use what we use. And like I said, that's also a service that when you're ready, you can either repurpose or you can outsource that and say, hey, Tallboy, is this something that you can do? Cut up my audio. And and I can create the thumbnail, or hey, Tallboy, I'm looking for a thumbnail to be created to go with this video. I don't know what it is that you're looking for, but based off of what you have shared thus far, you're looking to repurpose this and you want to cut it up to where it would either be pieces of micro content, or you're saying I just only want to cut out just a small portion and then have the rest of the show.
Yeah, a combination of both, really, a combination of both. So, but we can talk about it later. But I just kind of wanted to, bring it out since you're here, because others might probably be looking to do the same, because, yeah. But hey, Dorothy, welcome to the room. I sent you an invite up. Let me reset the room. We have a guest here. I haven't forgotten about you, Queen. We have a guest here. His name is Tallboy, and he is in the tech space. So he came over to share with us what he does. He dropped all his links in the chat and whatnot. He's very, in my opinion, he's very resourceful. He is very knowledgeable in his field, and I consider him a great resource for anyone in the business space. Who is trying to do anything with their business tech wise. So he has a fabulous um, YouTube channel over there that I told him I'm going to be living over there for a minute and whatnot, because it is just awesome. So that's just to bring you up to speed. All right. So, Queen, go ahead, introduce yourself and ask your questions, any questions that you might have for our guest, Tallboy.
Hi, this is Leland with Leland's Mobile Notary Service, the owner and operator of Club Ting, Tri-State Notary. But having some fun pieces with it. Can't say some fun pieces, some technical issues with building out my website. Is that also something you work on, the development side?
Um, I have people that do that can assist you in that realm. I can point you and route you in the right direction. The gentleman that I deal with, he is abroad, but when I say he's probably the best that I have met, he is probably the best that I have met, and I would feel very comfortable. I don't know how you feel about dealing with people in another country. Everybody has
My
their own.
original, yeah, my original developer is in Bangladesh, so
Yeah,
I have no
yeah.
issues.
Okay,
I
yeah,
just,
yeah.
with everything going on over there, I haven't been able to reach her. And I am hitting this
Gotcha.
wall like, I feel like a pancake, like just a punching bag that ain't got stopped being punched because I'm not getting past this one glitch that I'm
Right.
having.
So I have no
Mm,
problem making a connection with you and him, and then hopefully we can get that situation resolved, and then that way you can continue to do the business the way you want to do your business.
that sounds great. That sounds great.
Can you mind
Thank
if
you for joining the room.
you mind if you mind sharing your website with me?
No, no problem. It is club hyphen ting, ting.com. And basically where I'm having my glitch is my registration page. It's not allowing people to register, which is not what it's supposed to do. And I don't know what I've done or haven't done or what I've turned on, I haven't turned on, so I'm trying to go through every module to see. I just think I think it's a conflict between plugin A and plugin B that, might not be allowing it to release itself.
Gotcha. And where's this at on your page? I'm scrolling down on my phone. I'm not in front of my computer to actually look at this, but I'm looking
Oh,
for your.
let me see if I get on my phone with you. Could probably walk you through it.
So basically, what
Um,
you're trying to do with this website is you're trying to have them call, get your information. I mean, they give their information to you, and then now you would get that to go into some type of Excel spreadsheet, some type of Google Doc, or something like that, some type of form builder.
um, it would go into them registering onto the website. So basically, this is the front end, or the purpose of it will be the front end for my client side to have just see what it is that we do, and if they need to uh, request service, they can request service through there. That's where the registration comes on. And then I have a whole back end that's also uh, attached. And I don't know if that's the glitch, is that the front end is attached to the back end. And those are two different sites that are supposed to be linked together, but without my developer, I'm not exactly sure where, how, and I've been working on it. So I don't know if I've undone something um, versus not. But I could probably talk to you more about that one on one.
Yeah, send me. Are you on Instagram at all?
Yeah, but I don't trust it.
You
I'll
don't trust
send you.
Instagram?
I'll send. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm not social media savvy. I'm not really one of those
No problem.
people. I
You
like
can
to
just
meet and greet people in person. So I set up an Instagram page, but I have not been able to get past the reels.
no. Well, what I was saying for that is I'm more communicative. I'm not a. I'm bad at emails. I'm very bad at emails, and everybody gets that on me about that. But I respond faster to Instagram. But I will give you my email address. I'll put it in the chat.
I'll
And
send you. I'll put my phone in there, and you can send me a text. I'm great at text.
okay, sounds good. We'll go. We'll go that way.
Okay, that's a middle space. Yeah, that's a middle
Yep.
space. I'm great
I'll
at
meet you
texting.
halfway. We'll meet each other halfway. However, we gotta. So the thing is finding people's medium, right? Like for me,
Right. Meeting of the minds.
I'm not a corporate person. So because I'm not corporate, people look at me and say, "Man, you have to be more detailed when it comes to these type of things." Well, that's not my space. My space is I'm more of a techie, and I'm looking at it as how can I simplify this. You're going to probably catch me faster on social media or via text or a phone call before you would actually catch me via email. I hate, as they quote unquote say, paper trail, right? And I'm not saying it in a bad way because that covers CYA as we call it. But my thing was, if you don't respond to the email, then it's like, oh, you're being passive aggressive or whatever the case may be at my last job that I had in radio. And they were like, you didn't respond to the email. And it's like, no, I told you I was going to do this in the meeting. I did what I needed to do. And for whatever reason, email was just not Tall Boy's thing. I know I have to do it, but it's probably better. I'm from the old school. If I say I'm going to do it, say what you mean what you say.
See, my glitch is voicemail. I'm not into my voicemail. I see that I missed your call. You might have left me a voicemail. I will call you back before I listen to that voicemail. So
Yeah.
we all got our strong points, and then we all got our weak points, and you have to know them. You have to know what
Hmm.
you're great at. You have to know what you're weak at. So you can have this great meeting of the minds by knowing who you are.
Hmm. Right. I am sending you a text now, so you'll at least have my contact information. Um, Tall Boy, nice to meet you.
Ew.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, T. I've been
I,
waiting to hear your voice.
I just want to add my 2 cents. What he said was golden. Like it's worth a thousand words. Just that one thing he said about if I told you I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. Um, this platform is all about networking. People, seeing connections, helping each other, and with all that, people rejoice in that. But, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or whatever, but it's a lot of people on here that is lip service, you know, like we get together, we have good conversations, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna get with you, we're gonna do this, do that. And for some people, it doesn't happen. And I think we need to take more accountability for that. You know, that's why with I'm not gonna rehash it with me and Miss CM. I was so I apologize profusely because I'm just that person. Like, if I felt like I let you down, I'm gonna try to make up for it, and at least do that. And I feel doing that is taking accountability, and as we're for the most part, I say 50-60% of the people on here are professionals. I feel like that if we are toting our business on this app, that should be we should take more responsibility of the reflection of our character and our business. You can't come together and talk about networking and making promises to people and don't do it. But at the same time, you're talking about you're a professional and you have this business. It's just a bad look. So I'm glad that you said that, tall boy. I
No,
really.
like I said, I'm from the old school. So I mean, at the end of the day, although I'm 44, there's certain lessons that my grandmother instilled in me, and I still hold true to this day. This new generation, you know, e- everybody's there.
Let's not
Everybody
do
is
that.
everybody.
Yeah, let's not do the new generation. That's just a new space. It's from I want to think it's from when they took script out of school. They started changing the curriculum dramatically, and the things. I mean, my kid doesn't know how to fill out a check, and I don't know if that's my fault or some of this stuff. I don't know where we was supposed to pick up the ball and keep it moving, so we keep everything going around because somewhere things stopped, and these kids have no. This newer generation just has no desire to do some of the things that are required of them to be successful and to move forward. It's rough. They don't
I,
know
I,
what say what I mean. Mean what I say. I tell my kids all the time, you know what, you guys, you are a man of your word, but you're not a man of your word to your mama. So you got to move out here and you got to pay somebody else rent because you'll pay rent. You're going to keep a roof over your head, but you won't do that at home. And I just don't know where I drop the ball with that because he knows that he has to do it. He's doing it somewhere else, but for some reason neither one of them just feels like when we do it here, is viable. And I just feel personally, on my part, I dropped the ball somewhere.
I don't have kids, and I don't know if CM wants to take this on this path, but I would.
Yeah, I think that's another conversation
Yeah,
for another time. So, but yeah, I can see where you guys are going with that, but we'll have to pick that up at another time. So, but just know that, tall boy, I think we're all are professionals, and for those of us who caught the vision and we just picked up those traits, and we are walking them out here on planet Earth. I just encourage you to do that because you never know who is watching you. Okay, the new generation, the old generation, and whatnot. So we are always teaching people as we walk out our lives every day. So just hold true to who you are and be that example. Just be the example. That's the only thing I can tell you and whatnot. So just be encouraged. Do what you can do. Trust God. Trust God for the rest. And that's all you can do. So, and with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for their contribution to this episode, coming in and supporting the room and whatnot. I missed my 411 today. See, it happens, it doesn't happen. Life be lifing. Okay. Life be lifing. So, Trina, life be lifing. Hey, stuff happens. We just have to roll with it. And I always try to have a plan B when I open up this space. I'm trying to be
Indeed.
consistent. I'm trying really hard to be consistent with this on Mondays. So if I get a chance to do the 411, I do it. But if I don't, I'm still going to open up this space at some point in time on Mondays. The 4 o'clock seems to be working. So we're going to hold to that for a minute anyway. So, Leland, did you have something you wanted to say? I see you came off mic.
No, I was gonna ask what day and time, but you said Monday and you're gonna hold it at 4.
Yes,
So I'm
it's
gonna lock that in because I'm generally free or in the afternoons and catching everybody at like 6 to 9 in the morning.
yeah. I tried at first. We was doing the 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's when we had what T was saying that you know the first time that she was scheduled, she fell asleep waiting on me to open up the room. So I pushed it to 7 p.m. and she made that time and whatnot. And now we're at 4. And I think four is a good time. I might move it back maybe an hour, like 3. But my thing is during the daytime I'm here with my mom. So the 4 p.m. is my last hour here with her. And I had let her go and lay down. Well, lo and behold, I looked up and she's just wandering around the house. Well, I'm just trying to see who's here and talk. I'm like, if you don't get your little self back in your she she loves an audience. So, but I think this 4 p.m. is going to work for me, but I'm trying to, get a schedule and stick to it. At least I got the day down. So, still trying to find the right time. So, we're going to hold with the 4 for a minute and see how it rolls. Okay. So, T, I see you're off your mic.
I have a question.
Okay.
When we were in the other room, the young lady had mentioned how you're able to, I forgot the way she put it, run your businesses, and basically, like, on autopilot.
Yes.
I wanted to know if you were gonna do a room about that because like I said, in that room I'm very interested and I do need help in that area because like we were speaking about, I have is other talents, I should say, that
Mm-hmm.
that I was gonna turn into businesses that I kind of put down. I don't know if you remember the conversation because it was just like, okay, I got these two things going and it's taking a big part of my life, so I couldn't allocate the time. So if you, yeah, I definitely would. Uh, I will greatly appreciate it if you could do a room on that.
Okay. I believe I know what you're talking about. So, Tall Boy, do you have um, can you speak on that topic about automating your business? I mean, not right now, but is that something that you can speak on at a later time?
I'm not sure if I would be the perfect person for this because I'm not clearly understanding the automation portion of it. I don't know what was said for me to be able to speak on that
Okay.
mature.
I can
Go
I, I can do a
ahead.
short recap.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
so as I stated, I'm a life insurance agent, and I
Hmm.
also just got into the courier business. And on top of that, I do which is part of the trucking business, pilot car. And also I used to write, so I will say I'm a writer. I just kind of like sat it down, and then with that I used to produce music. And so the young lady was saying, why you don't do that? And I'm like, I don't have time to do it. And she was mentioning to me that Miss CM, she runs her business, you know, and all her different things, and she has it down smoothly, and it's like on basically autopilot. And I was just trying to see how I could do that for myself, and really get my other couple of businesses that I let go, get them back up and running.
Okay, so pretty much what I do, tall boy, I started my first business that I started with was my notary business. I became a notary to do loan closings and whatnot. And what I my goal is to have my business automated where with the emails, emails coming in, you got auto response. Um, with the phone calls and all of that. My trucking, the courses that I offer in the credit repair and the business credit thing, that's all online. The credit business is actually a franchise as well as the CDL stuff is a franchise that I purchased, and that's all online. So anyone can go to my site, my links, or whatever, and they can get what they need. My thing is, and this is really the hardest part, is getting the word out. Okay, so you still got to market. You still got to make sure that people can find your business where where they can tap into those products and services and whatnot. And that's what I'm trying my best to do. And yeah, so I
So,
think the SEO part for the YouTube or anything that I have going on plays a big part in that. And I think that would be something that I can bring somebody in to talk about the SEO part of that so that people can find you and whatnot. But, my goal is, for my businesses to be automated where people can access, the products and services, get what they need 24 hours a day. So that's what she is talking about. So that's what's happening with my with BAM, with the credit repair, the business credit thing, and the CDL courses, because I want my goal has always been to have my time free and I can work from anywhere. I don't have to be planted like a tree. And
gotcha.
and yet have income coming in. Yeah. So that's what she's talking
So,
about.
T, what area are you in? What city?
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, and you're in Alabama, right, CM?
Yes.
Okay, so not sure if you guys are familiar with these sites, but Eventbrite would be a great place to start. And I would look and just see what events are there. I would also reach out to your city council, go to the city council meetings to see, or local NPU. They call them neighborhood planning units here in Atlanta, but I don't know what they call them in your respective areas. And I know we all have busy schedules. I know we do. Maybe you can't do it for the month of March, but you might be able to do it for the month of May because you booked out 60 days in advance. But look and see what meetings are there, and you'll be amazed at the people that are just sitting there. And I don't know if you guys are people, if you're a people person or not, but the city of the Chamber of Commerce, go into these meetings. These are all should be free events that you're looking for, and then they may want you to join and become a member or something like that. And that's something that you want to do. That's on you. I can't force you to make that call or not. But you're saying that you're a notary. They have to know you. Someone has to, everyone's selling notary services. I know I can go to the bank and I know I can go to the notary. But how do I know that CM is a notary and she could probably notarize something for me if I'm going to be in the Montgomery area or I'm passing through there to get something done? The first place I'm thinking is the bank. But if I know her personally or if I met her at an event, I'm going to have that in the back of my mind. Now, I think the biggest thing with the automation portion is you have to have these things or these systems already put in place, right? So she already says she has courses. She already has a website to where you can have access to the courses. I'm presuming. So my thing is now you just have to get it out there. Of course, social media is going to always be the first place, but I mean, marketing and spending money through social media, I'm pretty sure the four of us in this room, we don't all feel confident in saying, I'm about to give you $50, $100, or $500 to advertise on Google Ads or advertise on Instagram or Facebook and hoping that it will lead me or drive me to sales. So before you start spending money there, think local first. And then as you start thinking local, you meet people and then you never know who they may connect you with. It's just a matter of, do you have the free time to say, I'm willing to go to this meeting on Sunday at 4 o'clock. I'm willing to go to this meeting on a Tuesday night at 7, or I'm willing to go to a meeting on a Wednesday at 5 o'clock. It just depends on what your schedule is and what availability that you have. So I would look at Eventbrite first. I would look at going to your city council meetings and meeting the people that are there and sparking up conversation. I just went to a city council meeting the other day for another city, and I was amazed at the business that they were doing. There's a young lady that's running for office here, and I just actually just went to go shoot some video for her. And it was, as these people were leaving, you just never know. Hi, how you doing? My name is CM. Hi, my name is T. And I offer this service. I offer that service. I'm not sure about the trucking business and how you could probably automate it that way, but I mean, you're looking at possibly with city council, you could possibly get a government contract out of it. You can talk to a city council member and then they can probably point you to the right direction if they know who you are and what you're offering. Hey, I voted, or I'm a boater and I'm looking to grow what I'm doing. Do you have any resources that you can give me? So these are all ideas that I'm sharing with you that cost you nothing. It just costs you your time. So as they all say, it's either time, talent, or your money that you have to give. So that's what they say in the Bible, right? So you have to either give up your time, you have to give up your talent, or you got to give up some money. You have to ask yourself, which one is it that you want to play ball with? And hopefully those will be at least get you started. If you have the time, saying, hey, CM, I know I'm going to be, you live in Montgomery, get to know some of those people that work at city council, see what events are on Eventbrite and see if there's something that resonates with you that might be able to build either a collaboration, or B, you could be a subject matter expert in that respective field.
Thank you. I know I do a lot of the things that he recommended. If you look in my bio here, you'll notice that, towards the end, I believe, I'm a part of a women's association. We meet once, and it's national, it's nationwide. Um, you can go to the meetings. You don't have to actually join the association. I know a lot of people come to our meetings and they don't join, but it's a good place to network and whatnot. And I do one of the other things that I do too is I highlight my notary business primarily. And so when the people call me for notary, they see that I do other stuff. So yeah. So that my notary business is kind of like my lead magnet. So here in the area, whether they come into my office or if I go to them, they're always asking for my business card, and my business card shows everything that I do. So that just kind of opened up for other things. And with my notary business also, I get a lot of repeat business, and I get those people that refer me to their friends and family as well, because they know all they have to do is set an appointment with me. They don't have to go stand in line at UPS or the bank. Just call me. I will either travel to you or they can come to my office. And when people find me, they love that. They just love that. They was like, hey, you just got me out of the line. And yeah, fine. So, but that's one of the things that I have done. My notary business, because of the way the loan signing agent business is set up, we put our information on different in different databases, so people find us to do notary jobs and other jobs and whatnot. So that's how I get a lot of leads. And like I said, once they find out that I'm a notary, they find out the other stuff that I do as well. So I would just kind of hum on that. So get you some business cards. You're seeing people all the time. and just drop that information. Here comes the little mother again. So yeah.
Thank you, everyone that chimed in. I really appreciate it, and this was a good room as always. I
Thank
always tell you,
you.
you're welcome.
Okay, do you have any other the last words, tall boy, that you want to add before we close down?
Oh, it's only an hour? I thought it was a little bit longer than this.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the people because normally I go for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Miss Laura is another notary that I met here on the app. And I was wondering where she was, why she didn't come in before. Miss Laura, yeah, there she goes. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people who you are, how they can find you. Let me bring you up to speed real quick. Tall Boy, he is in the tech space. And so he has been sharing with us about his YouTube channel. All his links are there in the chat and whatnot. So he is a good resource for tech. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Miss Laura, go ahead, introduce yourself. Laura. Sometimes she pops in and she can't talk. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. Yeah. Now,
So
No, no, I was having,
look at
I'm
my
sorry.
friend.
I was having a problem with my microphone. I'm sorry. Yeah, how you doing? I'm on lunch right now. My name is Laura Montgomery. I'm the owner of Ubiquitous Mobile Notary, doing commission in the state of New Jersey and the state of New York. How's everybody doing today?
we're doing good.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to sign out on lunch. That's why I was quiet and stuff and I wasn't in here.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, yeah, she's probably popping in during her lunch break. Top Dog, if you don't get yourself up here, I haven't seen Top Dog in a while. Top Dog is in the credit space, y'all. He is in the credit space. He and his son is in the credit space, and when I tell you, oh my goodness, this is somebody that you definitely want to follow. He is very knowledgeable. I'm not going to tell his story for you. Hopefully, he will come up and greet the people and whatnot. But I'll let you know what's going on. Top dog. Let's see what he said. Give me a second. Okay, so Tall Boy is my guest speaker for today. He's in the tech space, helping us people that is challenged in that space. In that space. Yeah, but he is an expert on that, like you are in the critic space and whatnot. So he has been with us for the hour today. I think I have the replays on, so good deal, good deal. But yeah, so all right. But yeah, when he comes up, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, anywho, tall boy, yeah, it just kind of flows for however long. It depends on how it goes. So, 30 minutes to an hour or over. Yeah. So I'm still here at my mom's, waiting on. I don't know what I'm waiting for really. My brother is going to be here to relieve me here in a minute.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
So does T or Laura have any tech questions or have any issues that we could possibly help them out with? Or do you see them have any tech questions that you might need help with?
No,
Possibly.
I actually do tech support. That's what I was doing. That's the kind of work that I do besides being a notary.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess I would have to like have a so okay, so with the I think it was Tall Boy USA. So how does the process go? I guess we could talk about that. Like when I reach out, do a request form, I'm assuming on
Right.
the website, do you start with a consultation, or automatically I will have to pick like packages plans. I haven't, because I've been in here, I haven't looked at it, so I'm just asking
Right.
questions.
So if
Probably can
you are
see.
looking, so if you're looking for video production, we start out with just a simple fill out the form or just reach out to me and we set up a time to have a conversation. You tell me what your needs are and you tell me what you're looking for. We'll set a time, a respectable time frame of how long do you want to do this for, a month or 4 weeks out, 90 days out, etc. Because you may not like me, you may not like the services that I'm offering, but you can't just say I'm just doing it one off and say, oh, I don't like it and I don't want to use you, unless the service is just flat out horrible and it's not what you wanted. But the goal is to build a relationship with you, right? And at the end of the day, we come up with a schedule of what you're looking for. If you already have the content, you kind of tell me what it is that you're looking for, and we create it. And we work on a fair price point, or I tell you what your package is, package A, B, or C. This is what it can be, and we go from there.
Well, I really need a videographer, really, because even when I was in media art school, I will tell you that that was not my forte. Like my forte was audio and video. So I'm an AV person, but yeah, actual camera work. Mm-mm. And but I do know that people that does YouTube say it's just easy. You get you a tripod and just sit in front of it. But I was thinking like maybe I don't want that every time. It's just a sitting in front of the camera thing. So I guess that's the main issue for me.
Right, we'll have a discussion, and I can say, hey, this is. I don't know if you said you're into trucking as well, right?
Yes,
Right. So you could probably have like are you driving trucks, CDL license, or you're just working in dispatch or something like that?
I'm driving.
So I don't know what your show is about, but we're just hypothetically just speaking out here, right? You could say, hey, the life and the day in the life of T and whatever it is that you want to have. And you can do your 2 or 3 minute blog of whatever it is that you want. And then now, if you want visuals or B roll to go on top of that, then that's something that we would discuss. Or it could be you getting out of the vehicle and either A, setting up a tripod, or you just walking with the phone saying, this is what's going on. There's a young lady that I follow on Instagram. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she does exactly what I just described. And she talks about her life as a female truck driver. And she's built a nice little following for herself. But that's the type of content that she wanted to create. I don't know what the content is that you're looking to create, but that's an option. But if you want a videographer, remember you're paying for their time to follow you around unless you have a child and say, hey, hold this camera and shoot this for me while I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So the second best thing that I would tell you is if you do have kids, um, especially that teenage or that young adult, you utilize them. This is their strength. They know this stuff inside and out. They know the TikToks and they know the Instagrams. They know that. They're going to say stay off Facebook because that's for the old folks. That's what the kids are going to say. But you could tailor it for however you want to tailor it because the girls, they know the angles. They know what angles are the best. I may not be the best angle person, but they know what hits and what does not hit. I have two cousins that are girls and you didn't take the picture right. You did it wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I just created the content. So, that's another option. So, like I said, you can either hire somebody, utilize one of your family members when you're around and ask them would they do it, or you could do it yourself and then say, hey, and remember, shooting and editing is two different things. It requires two separate skill sets. So it's great if you can find a combo, but anybody can shoot. Think about it. Every time you see a concert, anytime you see a funeral or anytime you see a major event, everybody got their phone out. But do you ever see them edit the final product? Anybody can shoot, but can you edit? So that's what I tell people all the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And look, I wouldn't want to be in either one of those positions, not at all. But in regards to me, I got some stuff going on with my laptop that is. It seems like the whole thing has just been knocked out. Um, I have Edge, Microsoft
Hmm.
Edge. Is that what it is?
Hmm.
And I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it. It's at my house. So and at some point there was like a little update that came on, and it just knocked all my stuff out of sync. Okay, there's some of my emails I can't get into them anymore. I do not want Edge to be my default browser. I prefer
Phone,
yeah,
prefer phone.
Chrome or Google or whatever. I just don't know anything about Edge. I don't, I need my computer back the way it was because
I got
I am really struggling in some kind of way, and they keep asking me for this Microsoft password. I'm like, I think I have one. I don't know for my emails to be synced again. The
correct.
Gmail is fine. It's just all of my emails
Microsoft
that I got
Hotmail.
from yeah, from GoDaddy. I can't access them anymore from my laptop. I'm like, what happened here? What happened?
So do you use a password manager or do you write down your passwords?
There's a password manager on my laptop. Um, yeah, and I just got to get better about. I have LastPass, but not all of my stuff is in LastPass either. So, yeah, so that's where I'm stuck at right there because it's the same situation on my phone too. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I can't get access to my emails. It's just crazy. So, but yeah, that's just something I would have to talk with you about later. Now,
Okay.
the guy that I was using here in Montgomery, he would just always, some kind of way, he would log into my computer from
Hmm.
wherever he was and take over my computer and just kind of fix stuff. But I know
Right.
he's got a lot going on right now, so I just haven't been reaching out to him about anything.
Got you. So, in all fairness, and I'm not trying to take the business away from him or lose the business myself, but I would say if he already is with you and you know him and you feel comfortable with him, I would work with him. But if not, then I'm open to, having that conversation with you. Now, one thing that I do, and this is a discipline that I have for myself, I do have a password manager to where I have one password and and every time I create a new password, as long as I unlock with that main password, it would automatically do it for me. But I also, on my phone, I have an app called G Notes and I manually write my passwords down into my phone. So then that way I know every time I sign up for a subscription, it automatically goes into my phone because I'm going to have access to that before I have access to my laptop because the phone goes wherever I go. First thing we do when we wake up in the morning before we even go to the restroom is pick up our phone. Most people do that. So my thing is, why not have this in my phone? I know what it's under as far as how I titled it. And all I do is go into the search, type in that name, and all my passwords come up. And then now, if I need access to my Microsoft, it's the original. If I'm correct, and I may be wrong, but it may be the original password that you set up on your computer that you logged in on. That might be your password for that update. I may be wrong. It could be your Hotmail password. It's one or the other. Um, once you did that update, you just have to go into your settings and change out your default browser from Edge into Chrome. And once you make it default, then Chrome will be your default browser.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
And I know that this is not going to happen overnight because this can be overwhelming, but you have to start somewhere. So maybe one day that you're just sitting at your mom's house and you just know that you have your laptop and you know you have that password manager, go open up LastPass and just while you're just sitting there watching TV, just copy or write down the names and the passwords to your Netflix account, write down the name and the password to your phone account, whatever it may be, and just put it into your notes, whatever note app that you have, and put it into your phone, and you're just copying and pasting or you're just typing it out. And that way, you know, you're going to have it on your phone and you know where it's at. And you title it whatever you, I wouldn't title it passwords. I would title it, you know, something, whatever that you know is unique. So then that way, if someone does have access to your phone, they won't know that it's there. But if something does happen to you, it's easy accessible. If, you know, God forbid, but if there was a death or a loss of life, people would know how to get access to this kind of stuff. So, speaking of that, I did want to share one tool. I did meet them at CES. The app is called the Atom app, ADAM. And basically, it is just like a wheel. I met the company and it was funny because it was like, hey, what happens if you transition? What would you do with all your passwords? Will people know where to go? And I remember when my mom passed away in 2015, we knew where everything was because we knew she told my aunt where everything was. But what if we did not have that? What if we did not know where all that stuff was? And I've had multiple family and friends who have had losses in their life, and they have said, I don't know where nothing is. We have to search for this. Well, the Atom app allows you to put all of your information in as far as your stored passwords that you want. You can identify one person or two people to have access to this, and that they will give access to your photos, your phone, or whatever, and you designate them to be that person. They do have a free tier, but then the more storage that you want to be able to share, and you have to go onto their, you would have to go into their website to see what their pricing is. I do not work for them. I'm just saying that I thought it was a great service. Had a chance to interview them at CES, and I felt like if we have a will, why don't we have something for our password? So that's something to think about as well.
You're absolutely correct on that because I know I had a best friend of mine said that happened to. So, yes, definitely. Thank you so much for that. Okay, Leland, I see you came off your mic.
Yes. Thank you, CM. And tall boy, that was great for what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking out the box on that part. The fact that your family might have to access it, and I always I do a lot of senior services, and I always advocate that they need to have that stuff written down somewhere should their loved ones need it, because no one wants to be scurrying at that moment. Um,
Mm.
but to
Yeah,
possibly
um,
figure out that password immediately, I don't know if she used Chrome. All my passwords are on Chrome, so I can go on my phone at any time and just log into my Google and get my password. Um, and I know that's where my Microsoft password is for my account when I can't think of it. Um, so that may be an option for right now to go in and retrieve it if if you utilize that feature.
but they also have that feature when you have an iPhone. They have it that you can actually go and put who you want to be the the two people that you choose. You send them an email, they accept it, and then if something happens to you, they have access to your stuff. iPhone has that feature in it. Also, they have it where you can save your passwords using keychain. They also have it where you can use passkey, where you can give somebody close to you access to your passwords also.
Wow, I didn't know that, and I know about keychain and passkey, but I didn't know that you can give access, and I didn't know about the will. I mean, not the will, but after death thing with iPhone. That's great. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I have an iPhone too. Normally, when I create a password, I do save it to the phone, but for whatever the reason, not all of them go in there because there's been some things I've been looking to get and it's not there in that password section. So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make sure that you're saving in the password. So when you put a password in and you click on it, you have to put that you want to save it, because I know that sometimes I've saved some in a keychain, but then I've saved some others in my Google. So I was like, wait a minute, where is it? And I'm like, oh man, it's saved in the other one. You know what I mean? So we have to be diligent. Sometimes we don't pay attention. But yeah, you can save it under keychain, and like I said, you can have a pass key too.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Tomboy, I see you came off your phone. If you guys can notice, I'm on the road now. So,
No, I'm just listening.
okay.
I'm looking up the link to send you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You're gonna put it in the chat, Laura?
Yep, I'm looking it up.
And I also put the Atom app Linktree account inside of the chat as well.
Okay, great, great. Thank
And that's
you.
for people. I'm Team Android, so don't judge me, y'all. Till the day I die, I do not plan on making that transition over to iOS. But if you are on Android, this is an option for you to look at as well.
Listen, I tell you, almost every day I want to make that transition back. Okay. Oh my golly, and I have two of them. Okay, yeah. But my tablet is Samsung. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I am so tempted to go back to Samsung with my phone. So yeah. But all right, y'all. Tomboy, I appreciate you giving us this time. It is almost an hour and a half. We have been here. I really appreciate you.
No,
So,
I mean, well, once again, it's all about building relationships. And I mean, we met on the other platform and you told me what you were doing. I told you I would pull up on you. Um, and like I said, I had a chance to check out some of your previous content and I liked what you were doing. So, however I could assist, I was going to be here.
okay, great. Well, I appreciate you. And yeah, I hope you allow me to call on you again. You're always welcome to come in and share knowledge with us. This is the Tech Day on Mondays, and then I do other little pop-up rooms. You know, well, I haven't, but that's the plan is to do other little pop-up rooms. So, yeah. So, again, I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to buy you not a coffee, something else.
I
I'm gonna
got
buy
you.
you something
Now, if I could
else.
just get a subscribe over at the Lab Tech Show on YouTube, that would mean a lot. That would mean more than the world to me. Because, like I said, the goal is to get to 500 followers to where we can start monetizing this content. Um,
Yeah.
the content is there. It's available. The problem is we're just trying to get more people to be more aware of it. So, just like I'm telling you guys to go to these meetings and go to Eventbrite, I'm doing these same things and having conversations with people every week. And so I'm only telling you what I'm out here doing. I'm not going to have you go out and do something that I haven't done myself, or I haven't seen a proof of concept, or what I have not seen work for others. So I share these tips and these tools with you to hopefully to where you will say, hey, you know what? It's something that I was not thinking about, or I didn't look at it from that approach. So hopefully that will help. And like I said, the YouTube channel is The Lab Tech Show. And hopefully you'll join us on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and interact with us and join the community.
I know it's going to be part of my thing. If I don't catch it live, I would definitely be tapping in on the replays and whatnot. And I think that's important for people to understand that it's not just important for you to subscribe, but to put in the watch time. You know, that's how we make our money over there is by the watch time as well. So, yeah.
My thing is, I do want to monetize it, but at the same token, once again, the mission was seeing how many people were struggling with tech that were in my circle that I knew. From those seniors to the older generation, how a lot of people just turn their nose up. I don't get it. I don't understand it. No one didn't tell me how this works. And they get frustrated. And my thing is, I have a few minutes to share if you're open to listening. So, I mean, we've taken it to where if you have a Roku TV, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, you can catch the content on those platforms as well. I mean, and once again, remember, I said trust the process, process to progression, and progression to completion. This started out as a YouTube channel back during the pandemic. And in these years, we have now created a website. We have now created a Roku. We have now created an Amazon Fire Stick. We just started getting it on Spotify podcasts, Amazon Music, and also YouTube podcasts. So, I mean, I didn't think about all this stuff, or we didn't think about this stuff when we first started. And then once I branched off, I can only use and do what I know. And as more things are brought to my attention, the goal is how can we get it on the platforms to where we can find your medium. Just like Leyland said, we got to meet halfway. You may not be a YouTube person, but you might have it on and on your TV. Download the app, so to know that, there's a black man that got his own app on Roku or Amazon Fire, that's pretty dope itself. But, I probably should plug that app more, but the goal is at the end of the day just to get the content out that I produced. That's it.
Well, I know a friend of mine, he is a film director, maker, whatever, independent film producer, maker, whatever. And I'm helping him with raising funds for a mental health movie that he's going to do. Um, he is looking for more podcasters on his channel. So you might want to reach out to him. He's always, just putting it out there, looking for anyone who's um, looking for a podcast, a place to put their podcast. So I always kind of share that with people. I can tag you to his page. I think it's King B World TV or something, and he has his own thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a horrible person to try to advocate for people. It's like, see, just don't do that.
Everybody has their strengths. You just got to find yours. That's what it is.
So, but anyway, I love what he's doing with it for the mental health. That mental is mental the movie.